earlier on, and it looked so good at 2-0, didn't it, when Havertz got his goal?
Yeah, it did. And to be honest, the way they were playing, it was comfortable, but you always know that in the back of your mind, you do feel that Villa and the way they're playing, especially with that mid-block and the pace they've got up front, then they're going to have a chance of scoring. So, you know, it was up to us to be a little bit more calm about the way we were doing, bring them onto us a little bit more, try and break through. But it didn't happen. Villa are a quality side in that respect. You have to see them off, Steve. You have to see them off.
But when Kai Havertz got this goal, the whole stadium was up. Everyone seemed a little bit more settled.
Yeah.
However, in fact, the year they were chasing for the title, they had a problem with 2-0s, didn't they? And that's ultimately what cost them. Yeah,
it did. And you know what as well, Steve? Once the goal, brilliant. It's a great play from Trossard, who was brilliant. Oh, I thought he was fantastic today. Brilliant cross. And then Kai, you get in there, you get in front of the defender, you get it on target. That's what he's done brilliantly here. But I love what Trossard's doing here on the outside, not waiting for anyone. You notice Miles Lewis-Skelly doesn't try and get round him. He's just left him on his own to have a go at him, and then brilliant from Kai to get in front of him. And at that point, you're thinking to yourself, brilliant, now we could stay calm, no panic, let's keep the ball, move it around, let Villa have to come out, and then if we could pick them off, then you pick them off. But again, you know, it didn't happen like that.
No, and the issue was, Tim, that they let 2-0 for less than 5 minutes. It was an instant response from Villa.
Absolutely, that's key. You know, you try and manage the game, just get in possession. You ain't got to score again, you're 2-0 up, just try and take the heat out of it. But, you know, that's a wonderful ball from Digne, and Tielemans comes in and a diving header. We think it's possibly Moreno comes in and gets his toe on it, and whether it hits Tielemans' head after that, but it's a good, brave diving header. But it's all about the cross. Great delivery. Defending's not good enough. It's not good enough. You have to just be solid. You know, it's all right in hindsight. You say, oh, if Saliba was there, would have made a difference. We can ask all them questions. In fact, he wasn't there, so they have to cope. Other teams have to cope when they're losing big players. Arsenal have to find a way of coping. All teams do. If you want to win the Premier League, you can't worry about what you haven't got. You've got to worry about what you've got and making the best of it and trying to get maximum points. And that was the key moment. They struck back too early. If they would have killed the game for 10, 15 minutes, it didn't happen. And it felt like, well, I mean, we said it, and we was watching the game, we felt if they score Villa, it could be very difficult for Arsenal.
The more you watch it and you think to yourself, can we keep the ball, can we play? Even when Villa, when they were in that position to get the ball out to Digne, you just felt like we were a little bit off it. And for Tielemans to be able to run off of Moreno and get on the inside of him like that was, it's not good enough. That's poor defending. Should never let him get that side. If he gets in front of you, you could see him, you can maybe go and block him, you can stop him. But for him to get on the inside of him there, to the point where he's now stretching, you know, it's poor defending. Brilliant from Tielemans' point of view, getting in there, causing the problem. But if you watch that from outside the box, it should have been dealt with ages ago, that run, and it wasn't. And you get punished. You get punished. Villa weren't great today, but in certain aspects of the game, they were absolutely brilliant.
You've said to me many times, better to be a lucky manager than a good one. Unai Emery was about to take Ollie Watkins off. John Duran had his tracksuit top off. The number was prepared. The piece of paper was into the fourth official, and then this happened.
And then this happens, I mean... Right, he would never have been in this position because they never ever brought him off. But Ollie was coming off. Wonderful cross to the back post, but it's poor defending. I cannot tell you how bad this is from Thomas Partey here. He has him there. He's got him in a good position. Now he hasn't. He steps up. The rest of the defence drop. He needs to drop with the line. Just manage it. Head the ball. And Ollie just keeps his eye on it. And he cannot believe that misses Kai Havertz's head, and he just gets a volley on it. He's so close. Raya has no chance, goes above his head. You know, as you said, it's Unai Emery has won for him there. He got lucky on that one because who's to say John Duran wouldn't have done that anyway. Ollie Watkins will score goals. If you leave him on the pitch, you give him the service, he will score like Duran does when he comes off the bench.
I do feel for Thomas Partey there, though. You know, he's a right back. He's playing right back. He's a midfield player. You know, again, it comes down to the squad and the thinness of the squad. And he's been put in a position where I think Trossard, can he get closer to that cross? You could see the poor movement from Thomas Partey. He's not used to that movement. Once he's come back in, there's no way he should be leaving him to go off the back of his shoulder like that. He's got to stay with him. He cannot have that much time and space. And again, I thought that Arsenal were very dominant with the ball and played very well. Villa had their moments, and there are 2 moments there what cost us, really cost us, because they punished us. They were ruthless with them.
They're chasing one team, which is Liverpool, and I put myself and I look at them 2 goals there, and Marino for the first one, Thomas Partey for the second one, and I look at how Liverpool would have dealt with that, and all I see is Gravenberch. Gravenberch does the ugly side of the game. He's responsible. He sees it. He defends. He helps out his defenders. I think these Arsenal players play for themselves too much to say, well, that's my job. I'm a midfield player. I feel for Thomas because he's not a right back. They're asking him to do a job because it needs must at the moment because of the injury problems they have. But you need to be diligent. You need to do your job. You need to be responsible for your team. Unfortunately, the 2 central midfield players, one playing right back today in Thomas Partey, have cost them today because they haven't been willing to put their bodies on the line and do their jobs properly. They're just intent of just waiting to get the ball forward and then they want to join in. We can all want to join in and play and go forward and create chances and score goals. Sometimes you have to put tackles in. You have to get your goal side. You have to head the ball out of the box. They're not doing that well enough. Whereas Gravenberch for Liverpool is doing all that and more.
OK, let's hear from the man who did punish Arsenal with that second goal. Killer goal in the end, Ollie Watkins.
Ollie, what a fight back. Just how satisfied can you be with that point today?
Yeah, I think really satisfied, going 2-0 down and then bringing it back and then pushing on, looking like we could get a third. I think, it's massive to go 2-0 down at the Emirates is tough to come back from behind. And obviously we did that. We rescued a point. So, it's positive.
You were about to come off and then you scored.
Oh, really? I didn't realise.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't realise that. To be fair, I was disappointed that I did come off. Obviously, I want to play as many minutes as possible. I felt like I was having a good game. So, it was... Yeah, obviously the manager's decision, do whatever I can to help the team, but obviously I want to play as many minutes as possible.
What a finish. Talk me through it.
To be fair, I was in 2 minds, kind of. I didn't know whether to take a touch and then finish or hit it first time, and so many things were going through my mind at that moment, but I just thought, just to make contact with it, hit the target, and it was nice to see it go in.
Yeah, John Duran was stood there about to come on just before you did score, and then obviously Unai told him to sit back down and put his jacket on. But what does that competition do for you, and how much does it motivate you? Do you like the competition?
Yeah, I think, it's good to have competition. It's never nice to be comfortable, and it's always good to be kept on your toes. So you can see what John can do. He's an unbelievable young player with so much talent. You've seen some of the goals he's scored this year, so it speaks for itself. But I think you need healthy competition.
Aston Villa 2 points off the top 4 as things stand. Is that very much the focus now for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think, just take it game by game, see what happens. We had a bit of a sticky patch. We came out from that and we started to pick up some points, and now the league table looks quite tight. So, we're just focusing on the next game. We got the Champions League game now on Tuesday, so recover and get ready for that, and then go again.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ollie. Good luck midweek.
Cheers. Thank you.
Well, Gabriel, it must be an incredibly disappointed, flat Arsenal changing room you've just come out of. Give us a flavour as to what's been said.
Yeah, I mean, it's a disappointing day. Of course, we wanted to win the game, but we have to keep going, keep trying. We trust in ourselves, and we have to keep going and improving. It's a long journey to go, so we have to focus on ourselves.
Is it doubly disappointing because it looked like you had the game won, well, at least twice. Once, obviously, at 2-0 up, and then again when the goal goes in, disallowed by VAR at the end there.
Yeah, I mean, that's football. That's the Premier League. That's the most difficult league in the world for me. And we have to rewatch the game and see what we've done wrong and improve for the next games.
Spoken to Kai at all about the disallowed goal? Does seem to come off his arm. I don't know what's been said in there.
No. I haven't spoken to him about this.
He hasn't spoken to him. We can speak about it and clear it up because they thought it was the winning goal at the time.
Yeah, I was delighted seeing it go in. I thought it did go off of his side or something, but when you watch it, it clearly goes in off of his hand. When you watch it from that angle, it looks like he turns and it hits the back of him, but you can clearly see from there when he turns, hit his arm. It's handball. So
Fine margins, isn't it?
that's exactly what it is. Yeah, he's trying to move out of the way.
When I'm looking at it again, I think it looks like it hits him on the hip.
I know, but that's what he said. But that hits him on the arm, Tim.
On the arm, yeah.
Honestly, if I could say any way I could say it hit him on the hip, I would say it. But like, it was unfortunate.
Another
Because it
good
was a spell of pressure that they put on, and it was really good at that time. It would have been a perfect time to score, for them to regroup and get themselves going again. And unfortunately, it was disallowed.
And are they the moments that make everybody believe? You alluded to the Liverpool ones earlier against Brentford with Nunes.
Well, the thing is with Nunes is that what Liverpool have, what we unfortunately don't have, is somebody, whatever people think about his finishing, how wayward it can be, is somebody that can come off the bench and maybe do something like that. And I think that when you look at Arsenal's bench, there are no attackers really that's going to come on. You get Sterling, who's come on, and it's a bit up and down for him. Brilliant against Man United, his little cameo. Not so good against Spurs, and again, not too much able to do today as well. So you look at Arsenal from an attacking point of view. They've got Villa, got Ollie Watkins to come on, they've got John Durant to come on. That's the kind of riches that, if Arsenal could have that kind of player, those kind of players to come on, then they'll be able to, when they're looking as tired at that stage of the game, and you could feel the energy in the stadium, that they could feel it was coming, and what we need is players who can come in and rid us of those worries, man.
I mean, this is a huge 2 weeks. I know what you're saying. You've been in this position as a manager. It is very difficult to recruit at the best of times in January. Yeah. The sporting director's also not there, who's been doing all the deals for the last, 8-9 windows.
The problem's not the summer transfer window, it's the last 2 or 3 years. You can't all of a sudden identify something you need and you're in because City are out of it, all of a sudden we got a better chance to win the league, so let's just go and bring anyone into the club. It's too late in the day. Hopefully they can find someone. If they can get a loan, someone on a short numbers, or something different, like rightly saying, Nunes comes on, he's havoc. He's 6'4", puts himself about, even if he's not the tidiest of players. John Durant gives them that as well, runs in behind, comes short, batters people around.
This week from Dortmund for 20 million, haven't they?
Yeah, it's good signing.
I mean, the players are out there, but they can't be too picky at this stage. But I don't think they should waste money. I really don't. But their season is looking like it's petering out here. The Champions League is the only thing they're out of the competitions. I mean, they've got an outside chance to go to Newcastle, but it's going to be very difficult.
How they reacted after the 2 goals was fantastic. And we compete like more or less we want to build our strong structure in tactical way, in individualist way, how we can compete, and as well in our mentality. And never give up. And today I think the response on the field was in the moment we were struggling, never give up and try to score 1 goal, try to get again with the possibilities to come back the result, and of course we draw.
I'm so proud of the way we played, how dominant we were, how fluent we were, how much we put into it. We play 3 games in 6 days with 120 minutes on it, almost the same players. So proud of them, and at the same time so disappointed with the results, and especially how softly we conceded the second goal.
Does it feel like a particularly significant setback on a day when it looked like Liverpool might be dropping points, it looked like the gap might be only 2, and all of a sudden, it's a big gap again?
I mean, that's football. When you play football, that it can happen, and anything can happen in football. It's not a setback, it's just something that we have to take and learn from it,
Yes, you can see the disappointment in the face of Gabriel Martinelli there. Did that feel significant? We've just watched Liverpool, and then what happened from 2-0 to 2-2?
Without a doubt, Steve. You're 2-0 up at home, going into a game where it's going to be a difficult game for you. You end up finding yourself 2-0 up, and you end up drawing 2-2. It's tough. It's tough for Arsenal. They're down to the bare bones of what they're doing. I think you look at the bench. You look at the bench, and there's not even an attacker on there that's got a Premier League goal this season. It's very bare. You've got a midfielder playing right back. It's something that's not really worked out for us. I don't think we've won. I think we've won 1 game out of 6 when Thomas Partey's played there. It's a vulnerable position for us, and unfortunately for me, again, I'll say I think the manager needs a lot of help from the board now. I don't think he could do very much more with what he's got. Otherwise, There's no way you're going to be continuing to use Thomas Partey at right back if you've got options, and he needs options. Attacking and maybe defending.
It's a startling statistic on the back of what we've just been talking about with Núñez and Jota at Liverpool, to not have an attacker with a Premier League goal this season.
Yeah, and they've missed out over the last couple of years, not only because Man City and Pep Guardiola, because they haven't had that 9. And people have been saying it, been shouting from the rooftops to the Arsenal fans, and they still haven't got it. So it's not about going and get one now in January. It's impossible to go and find that player now in January. They will try, but everyone's looking for the same person, unless they're going to pay over the odds for a player, which they might have to do if they want to take this season seriously. I think it's too late. I really do. I just think that they win their game in hand against Everton, Liverpool. It's 9 points. They got to go to Anfield as well, Arsenal. So they pretty much, if that's the cup final for Liverpool, you beat Arsenal. It's impossible for Arsenal. They don't look like a team who are going to win every game between now and the end of the season. And Liverpool don't look like a team who are going to drop 5 games.
I think that we're very close to being in danger of it fizzling out. Next couple of games, if it doesn't happen, or if they don't bring someone in to give them a boost, because you could see as well that they looked a bit tired as well for me at the end there. I think mentally and physically they looked very tired there. And, you know, it's something that I can't emphasise enough how much we need help now. We need players.
And it was interesting to hear from Thomas Frank then, after he's played Arsenal, City and Liverpool in the last 2 weeks, and he thinks Liverpool are on a completely different level to the other two.
I think they are.
And I know why he's saying that, because they did so well against Liverpool today. You know, they kept and limited them to very few chances. A lot of shots, but from long range. All of a sudden, it sickens you as the opposition manager when you see them making changes and you go, hold on. You're bringing on that quality of players. You know, it really disheartens you, especially when they come in with an attitude of rolling their sleeves up and wanting to prove to Arne Slot that they want to start the next game. That's exactly like every player comes off the bench for Liverpool. They've got the in-house competition, what I talked about now, and they all want to play in the big games. And that is why Thomas Frank has said they are the favourites, because of the strength in depth what they have is better than any teams chasing them.
Yeah, today for Arsenal, when Havertz scores this goal at 2-0, you could feel a little bit of calmness in the stadium, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could. Like I said, this brilliant from Trossard. You see him being left alone there to take him on. Gets a great cross. That's good play. Get himself in front of the defender. You're 2-0 up now. And what you need now is you need to be able to, you know what, can I maybe bring on some fresh players, bring on a little bit more impetus, bring on somebody else to give it something else, but they can't do that. And at the same time, you've got a Villa side that, you know, obviously they made their change of bringing on Digne, a different proposition to what Maatsen was. And then they kind of got themselves back in because Arsenal could not get hold of it. You look at this here, you look at Digne out there with all that time and space.
The point here as well is they led for less than 5 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes, exactly. That was the problem as well. Not being able to get hold of it and take a little bit of the steam out of the game simply because this could happen. I think it's poor play from Marino. He got the wrong side of Tielemans. Tielemans got the wrong side of him, I should say, and there's no way he should be in front of him there. And in the end, I think that's come off of Moreno's boot rather than Tielemans' head. But Tielemans has given him the opportunity to be there simply by getting on that side of him.
And then Unai Emery was about to take Ollie Watkins off after this free kick, and this happens.
Well, this is all about Thomas Partey, who's a midfield player who's playing right back. For the first goal, he should have closed down Digne quicker. Matty Cash, brilliant ball to the far post. He lets him go. I mean, a defender does not do that. No. If you look at Thomas, he's got him there. He's got him in a good position. Then he steps out. No one else steps out with him. He needs to follow, stay goal side, head the ball away, and take the steam out of the game. And it's a good finish from Ollie Watkins, but a wonderful pass from Matty Cash.
I think when you look at that kind of goal for a team that's trying to do what they're trying to do, very fortunate with injuries last season, didn't get injuries to our top players. When you see a player making that kind of mistake at that stage of the game with everything what's on the line, you know, you can look at me, he's got him, stay in that position, stay there. If he stays there, he clears that.
Yeah.
He's not a right back. That's the only thing I'll give him. He's not a right back, but he's got to sense that danger. Because when that ball's come out, look where he is. You know, it's just like, it's unforgivable for me simply because you're professional, you know that you're in a position where you have to stay and hold your ground, and he's gone the other way. And it's cost Arsenal. It's cost them today.
And you thought, like most Arsenal fans, you might have won it late on off Havertz, but let's clear this up.
Yeah, it was handball.
Handball.
You know, it pains me to say, Steve, Because when you see it, once he hits that, Steve, it looks, bam, it's come off his back or his back of his arm or something. But when you see it, you know, you can watch it. There it is there, unfortunately. Yeah. It would have been brilliant. But this is even better angle. I'm not sure, would that even have gone in? I think, would it have made it? He hit it into the ground, but yeah, they made the right decision for once.
So you say you need some help from the board. In this window, if they don't sign anyone significant, you can't see any way that they're going to...
Not with the way we're playing at the moment, not with the players we've got. Look at the bench. You know, you can't, you know, we've got Miles Lewis-Skelly coming in at left-back doing unbelievably. I have to mention again the summer window, bringing in Moreno, you know, and Calafiori. Unfortunately, Calafioри's been injured. Moreno, it's not quite happened for him yet in a season where we really need people to hit the ground running, and then you've got a youngster in like Miles Lewis-Skelly who's come in and he's shown that he could probably play that position. So could we have used that money in a way, like Tim was saying? We've needed a striker for a few years now. Those are the things that I'm sure Arsenal fans will be thinking about. But those are the things that we have to be thinking about now, because if we've got any chance of wanting to be in this race, something's got to happen in these last couple of weeks of this transfer window, because with the players he's got at this moment and the injuries he's got, it can't happen. Not with the way Liverpool are playing, not with the way they're going about their business.